Hello, hello, hello. This is TWOSET Violin.
It looks a bit crooked.
As part of our Kickstarter project that we're doing, starting from March 15th, we decided that we will be busking and performing as street musicians non-stop until we reach our funding goal. And as musicians, we were curious, how much playing can we actually do a day on the violin?
So we approached Dr. David Peterson. He is a musculoskeletal and sport physiotherapist, also deals with orchestras in Australia regularly on health benefits and the physio aspect. And he did say that anything more than 4 hours of playing can be detrimental to our health.
Now we're going to show you the full video with everything he said, so if you're a musician or if you're just curious about what our bodies go through, definitely check it out.
Being a well-established principal musculoskeletal and sports physiotherapist, do you recognise that playing an instrument shares similarities with sports? If so, how?
So absolutely, playing an instrument at an elite level has got a lot of similarity with being an elite athlete. Both elite musicians and athletes have to have great levels of dexterity, they have to be very strong, they have to be very flexible, and they have to be able to concentrate very hard for long periods of time. In fact, there have been some studies that suggest that energy expenditure for some of the more lively violin repertoire is equivalent to going for a run. Assuming the violinist has decent form, what's the maximum duration a violinist should engage in practice every day, with and without breaks? So it's generally accepted that it's safe to practice for around 40 minutes and then to have a break. Cumulatively, violinists could safely practice for about 4 hours a day, as long as it's broken into those 30 to 40 minute segments with a break between. So what are the consequences and risks of doing more than the recommended practice hours? Well, there are definitely some nasty potential side effects that can happen if you exceed the practice guidelines. So musicians can and often do develop pinched nerves in their backs and necks. They may tear tendons, they may get inflamed muscles or burses, and these are injuries that can take months to settle down, and sometimes they may even be permanent. So what extreme risks are they at? Well, this really is quite an extreme venture that they're undertaking. To put a sporting parallel, it would be equivalent to running back-to-back ultra marathons and then turning around and doing some ultra endurance events. I think they're really putting their bodies on the line here in the name of culture, and I'm quite conflicted because professionally I'm advising them against this because of the risk of injury, but personally I'm fascinated to see how far they can take this.
Funded by the government. Roughly 30% of costs come from private donations, and ticket sales only make up for 20% of the costs.